Hello, and welcome to this Tuesday, August 6th, 2019 episode of The Happy Hero Show. Now, today's episode is about creating content, and it's about quality content. That's what journalism ultimately is about. It's about quality content. Now, the actual definition for journalism is the activity or profession writing for newspapers, magazines, or news websites, or preparing news to be broadcast. Well, that's what I'm doing here. With each of my shows, I'm preparing content to be broadcast, and it's getting better and better. And the initial ones, I'm not sharing as much, specifically because of that reason. I want it to be quality. So here's sort of my recommendations and sort of kind of things that I've done on my own. I'm creating content, and I'm documenting creation. So if I'm creating something and I document that, then that's another thing. So it's create content or document creation. Start with documenting and work your way to creating. Use a webcam, use an iPhone, get a tripod, get a gimbal, edit with iMovie, Premiere Pro, or Final Cut Pro. iMovie to start, work your way up to Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro. Get a microphone, work to improve the background, work to improve the edits, work to improve the experience. So right now, I'm limited on space for this filming because of how loud I am, stuff like that. And I want to make sure that I get it right. So I'm not in a rush. I'm getting things together, and the right people will manifest at the right times and start working together. The right people to be employees, the right people to be investors, the right people to be customers. Of course, I want to make a lot of sales, a lot of deposits right now, but right now, I don't have an actual prototype to show you. My prototype is a bare bones prototype just to see how it would work. Now I know that it can work. My wife was very happy, other than some minor things. We were very happy together. There were some tweaks, but I figured it out. So now, like this show, this content is to provide value. Your content should be to provide value, but if it doesn't at first, it's okay. If you're just documenting at first to be able to show where you were and where you went to, that's fine too. Just get into the habit of creating content. That's what the Happy Hero Show is about creating habits in your life. And creating content should be a habit. Documenting yourself with pictures, with video, with audio, and then you have something to give your kids, your grandkids. It's something to look back on yourself. It's something that, even if nothing else, something you can look back on. So yeah, create content, do your best to provide value, and the more value you provide, the less likely you will be to create bad content that gets you in trouble, stuff like that, because content can get you in trouble. The point is to work to help people, to work to improve lives, to work to solve problems and serve others. If you're working to solve problems and serve others with your content, you're working to provide value, then it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. People are going to find value, like this podcast. Hopefully this will inspire you to say, oh yeah, this guy's content was not that good. The background wasn't very good. The cat kept bothering him, wanting pet and stuff. And you can say, yeah, I can do this too. And that's what I want. I want you to do it too. Because this shouldn't just be to get famous. This should be to be able to do whatever it is you want to do. In the Gary Vee podcast, it said, go into advertising to make what you want to happen. That was a woman that was on this podcast. So, that's the point of this, is to focus on making what you want to happen happen. That's what your content should be about, is about manifesting what you want to happen. If you want to inspire others, if you want to create more content, create it in order to create an experience for people, and it will come full circle as things come together, as you create a business model, as you create a way to make buying easy. So that's talked about more in depth in the 60-Second Brand podcast, where the inspiration, innovation, raving fan experience, resourcefulness, simple business model, celebrate the milestones. That's discussed. How to have a business is discussed in 60-Second Brand. So if that's why you're creating content, journalism, I don't think should be for advertisers. I think it should be for purpose, to make something happen. And what I want to make happen is to feed, house, and empower 1 billion people that wouldn't otherwise be fed, housed, and empowered. This is only 10% of the planet. There are over 2.5 billion people without proper sanitation. There are a lot of people that aren't quite living the life they wish they could because they don't know how. This is about creating an atmosphere to enable that kind of life. Through these habits, live, work, play, love, learn, pay it forward. Thanks for another episode of The Happy Hero Show.